What's going on there, guys? Good morning, good afternoon to some out there. It's the Earthmaster here on this Saturday, December 3rd, 2022. It's about 1:09 in the afternoon here in California, the West Coast. Taking a look at the latest activity here on the USGS and EMSC globe here. Shows some activity off the coast of Baja California once again. Also some activity ramping up down around New Zealand, continuing. Quite a bit of uptick, generally speaking, across the globe. Let's go ahead and check it out here on the flat scale model. Starting out here along the west coast. One earthquake here in the Rancho Cucamonga area, just on the western side of the plate boundary here. Little 1.2. We have been seeing a little bit of uptick in this area, including a couple earthquakes, it looks like, earlier this morning on the San Andreas Fault, the southern branch here. A couple small, very small microquakes, but again, got to watch that for some potential migration there in that area. Hopefully, that's about it. We'll keep an eye on it for sure. Let's see. Let me check the 2.5 map and above here. Yeah, most of these are all microquakes. Some activity here along the west side of the San Joaquin Valley, just south of the Avenal area. Quite a bit of rain coming into the area today, Southern California, and also up north here as well. Let's see what we got. Now, the USGS not showing that earthquake off the coast of Baja California, but we obviously seen it, a 4.1. Looks like this kicked off a little bit earlier this morning time frame. Not listed up here on the map though, but it's there. A little bit of activity kind of ramping up. Western Texas, couple 2s and 3s out there overnight, and yesterday no major uptick. There's that one earthquake outside of the OKC area. And up in Missouri, kind of an odd earthquake. Madison, Missouri, seeing a 2.4, a very shallow earthquake at about 1.2 kilometers deep. Let's see what we have out here. Not for sure what's up there in Missouri. I don't know if they have any oil pumping operations. Not for sure what these are. Kind of a weird looking deal. Either way, got one little earthquake out there. Not a big one, definitely not a big one. But I wouldn't doubt it if somebody felt that. Has been reviewed. Actually, nobody reported feeling that, so that's kind of odd. But either way, a little bit of movement out there in Missouri area. In Georgia, northern Georgia, down here around the just west of the Blue Ridge Mountains, seeing some activity at 2.2 early, much earlier this morning time frame, about 15 kilometers deep there. Occasionally, we do see some activity up around the Appalachian Mountains and these northern areas, but not too often. On occasion, definitely. The Caribbean area and Puerto Rico seeing some continued movement overnight. 18 earthquakes or so within the last 24 hours, including a couple up here from last night around the Puerto Rico Trench, just shy there. Somewhat deeper activity, about 25 and 15 kilometers deep for those earthquakes. Into the Columbia region, got some activity as well from overnight, including a 5.0 down here, about 39 kilometers deep into the, looks like a Columbian Trench area. All right, South America, the rest along the Peru-Chile Trench. Latest quake here in the area looks like a 4.8, 161 kilometers deep there. As far as smaller movement, definitely looks like there's some 2s and 3s there around the Chile area. Also, what do we got here off the coast? 4.2 up north. It doesn't look like that's being reported here either. Looks like it may be just off the coast of Mexico or the Guatemala area. So some movement here, obviously picking up. not being reported there by the USGS. Alaska area, not a whole lot of movement today. Nothing within the last hour. A lot of this activity from yesterday. A little bit of swarming outside of the Anchorage area around Denali and also around the Trident volcano. But overall, seismic activity there just kind of average for background levels. In Japan, I believe this is from yesterday, actually this morning. Wow, 4.1, 161 kilometers deep into the Japan Trench. And I believe, let's see here, looks like there was a 3.5 in that area as well, just to the south. Looking around the Indonesia area and the Philippines, seen some activity as well. Also the Java Trench area. Notice the absence of quakes here. There's a lot of 2s and 3s on that map. Again, the USGS only showing 4.0 and above sometimes. Depends. But today, they're not showing a whole lot. They did include the 5.7 that came in. This originally came in, I think I got a notification there on my phone early this morning that it was a 6.7. Yeah, from one of the reporting agencies. I think it was the EMSC, but man, that's a major downgrade from 6.7 to a 5.7. Now, we'll check out for signs of a 6.7. Obviously, these bigger quakes show up across the globe on seismographs, even at a distance. So we'll look for that here in a little bit. But 5.7, Java Trench, 112 kilometers deep. Some scattered activity up around north of the Himalayas, eastern Afghanistan area. Although, looking at this map here, most of those there from yesterday. Nothing new being reported. Down here into our very active regions of the Fiji Islands and the Tonga Trench. Looks like most of the activity today above the 4.0 level is confined to that area. Tonga Trench, Fiji. Latest earthquake shows at 4.4. 526 kilometers deep. Some other deeper activity in here as well. Nothing showing up here along the Kermadec Trench. But there is some 4s being listed here. Along that area. Looks like that is somewhat recent activity. Nothing showing up there on the USGS model. Let's check out the GeoNet servers here real quick and see what we have for New Zealand. Here's a couple earthquakes listed up there from yesterday. Let's go to the all magnitudes here today. And the majority of these that have kicked off here over the last couple hours look like they are some smaller ones. Here's a 2.1. Deleted. Quite a few of these deleted. There's an unnoticeable earthquake 3 hours ago. There's that 4.9, about 7 o'clock their time in the future. That's well north of the North Island area, though. I'm kind of curious to see what we got for the Taupo volcano. These are the seismograph drums, and looking a little bit less active. Now, these swarms can definitely come and go, similar to Yellowstone, so we'll keep an eye on it. But general seismic activity has kind of been on a gradual decline as far as the frequency of earthquakes here at the super volcano, North Island, New Zealand, Lake Taupo right now. So we'll definitely keep an eye on it, though. All right, back to the USGS map here. Big island of Hawaii. Got Mauna Loa up here still erupting and still producing quite a bit of lava flows. Kilauea volcano showing a little bit more activity as well around the crater region. Actually, a pretty good uptick from previous days. So let's see what we have here for volcano hazards. We're going to start off with Mauna Loa, obviously still erupting. And the latest update here, looks like that was put out Saturday, December 3rd, 8:45 Hawaii time. So just a couple hours ago. Looks like the rift zone still continuing to erupt. Little change over the past 24 hours. One active fissure, that is going to be number 3, is feeding a lava flow downslope. And it looks like these other fissures here are no longer active, but that could change eventually. We'll watch that. Fissure 3 is generating a lava flow traveling to the north towards the highway. But again, it has reached some flatter ground, and that's going to make this flow slow down significantly. As of 7 a.m. this morning, the flow front was about 2.5 miles from that highway, Daniel K. Highway, Saddle Road. So during the past 24 hours, it looks like the lava flow advanced at an average rate of about 40 feet per hour. Not that big of a deal, 13 meters per hour. But either way, it's still active, folks. Even though it's slowed down, definitely active. Fissure 4 is no longer active, although the HVO geologists observed only glowing cracks in the area of Fissure 4 during the eruption monitoring overflight this morning. So definitely keep an eye on it. Sulfur dioxide there, emissions looks pretty high. VOG information, of course, can be found on this external website there from the USGS. Got all sorts of stuff here. Forecast and including windy here. The windy.com site will show the SO2 emissions and whatnot. Let me see what we got. Oh, goodness. There's our low pressure system here spinning off the coast of California, pulling up quite a bit of rain here. SO2 levels, just want to check this out. I showed this here last night or a couple nights ago. Pretty high concentration, although this is mostly aloft up in the atmosphere. It's still up there. And I don't know what kind of, adjustment this would make. It's not a huge super volcano eruption, but there's still quite a bit of that gas going into the air and up into the atmosphere. I know some folks may be concerned about acid rain. I don't know. It's definitely concentrated up there as far as the SO2 levels go. Not hitting us here in Northern California for now, but either way, it's up there. You can check it out, the SO2 map there on windy.com, and it's pretty interesting there. All right, let's go back to the earthquake activity before I get too far off. So yeah, obviously things still continuing. I do want to check out the Kilauea volcano and see what we have with that. This was put out this morning, or yesterday actually. Still erupting, obviously. We've got 2 active volcanoes there on the Big Island, but all recent eruptive activity been confined to the crater. Now it's been saying that since September of last year, so nothing doesn't look like it's changed yet. No unusual activity at the rift zones, but that earthquake activity kicking up today and overnight. Got to pay attention to that. A couple 2s and 3s, and some of that is down there at about 2 kilometers or so below the surface. Down here around Pahala, got some activity as well. All right, let's see what else is there. South Sandwich Islands, that was from yesterday, low 4.9. See if we got any unusual activity here on the globe that we need to monitor. Mediterranean area up here around the region, also Turkey area, seeing some 2s and some 3s. It looks like it's almost always active in that zone, similar to other major seismic regions along plate boundaries. It's just going to be that way. But sometimes these swarms do indicate some larger activity possibly brewing in the region. All right, let's go ahead and check out space weather real quick. I'm kind of curious about that. I haven't even looked at this morning. We did have, it looks like an M flare so far. Overnight, as expected, things are starting to ramp up. Seen about an M, oh, what is it there? M1.2 it looks like. Not listed up here, but things are getting super active here on the sun currently, with not only the sunspot activity, but a large coronal hole feature, number 53, is starting to rotate into view here of Earth, lining up with the Earth, I should say, and that will definitely be spewing out some high speed solar wind charged particles towards the Earth in the coming days. Not to mention any other events that may be headed this way from CMEs and strong flares. Looking at this morning's, or this afternoon already, latest imagery shows this pretty complex system down here of sunspot activity. A lot of structure here with the magnetic fields. So let's see what we got for potential right now. I kind of do have it highlighted here. Beta Delta class, 60% chance for a C flare, M flare at 20, X flare around 5%. But I think those are some lenient numbers. We'll definitely pay close attention to that sunspot as it rotates into view. There it is as well. Pretty massive feature there. Also 3156 getting its act together a little bit up north, and things will be very active, I have a feeling, here in the coming days for some stronger flares. Let's see what we got. Current level of conditions here for the forecast looks pretty minimal. Notice a pretty good decline here of the KP index. So I think after, going to be after the 5th sometime, we'll see some possibly a G1 class storm forecasted from this coronal hole. Again, it's not super lined up yet. It's not really lined up perfectly with the Earth, but it will be here pretty soon. Current conditions here of the real-time solar wind looks pretty neutral. Things dropping off there in the speed density and the BT-BZ component. All looks pretty stable there. All right, I'm going to jump off here and enjoy the rainy day, and continue to look at the live seismographs, and a shot there of fissure number 3 remaining to be active. Looks like that's thrown up some fountains of lava there, and I think this will be pretty active for a little while. We'll definitely keep things updated daily. All right, guys, have a good day. We'll catch you a little bit later on tonight.